Commitment, day 5. And day 5 is what? Evaluation, test day, pop quiz, inspection. You know, I was raised by 2 wonderful parents. And if I had to say what was the one quality that they both possessed, it was they held us accountable. They expected great things from us. When they told us to go weed the garden, they expected that it would be done exactly right. As my dad used to always say, if you don't do it right the first time, when are you going to have time to do it right the second time? So they expected the garden to be weeded, meticulously. But they didn't take it for granted. And they inspected it. You know, you always expect your players to really play well. But the coach that doesn't watch video every day of the day before to inspect how they did, never going to achieve the greatness that you can. You have to become a great inspector. You know, inspect what you've done this week. Were you committed on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Were you committed? Did you spend the time and the money doing the things that you should be doing? Did you take one day and write the 24 hours and sit down and see what you were doing and see what you were committed to? Are you inspecting? Do you do your goals? But are you committed each day? And if you haven't been committed this week, if you weren't committed on Wednesday, if you just kind of took things as they went and whatever showed up and you did it, then put a minus. And put why you didn't have a commitment. Maybe you just couldn't overcome your peers. Maybe there was just too much pressure and they wanted to do this or they wanted to do that. And you weren't willing to step up and say, no, I'm not doing that. That's okay. You just write that down. And then what are you going to do different next week? The next time that happens, what are you going to do differently? And now you're prepared for the next time it happens. If you weren't committed this week, then be committed next week. What you've got to do is decide what it is you're going to be committed to. What are you going to spend your time and money on? If you want to be a lawyer, then prepare to be a lawyer. Spend the 10,000 hours to be an elite lawyer. It doesn't matter. Become committed. Did you do your goals this week? Did you sit down and every day write your goals and your time that you were going to do them and how you were going to do them? See, you can't just sit down and write a goal and say, I'm going to make my bed. That's good. And that's how you start. But being committed means I also put a time with it and a plan of how to do it. I'm not going to just spread the bed. I'm going to make the bed and I'm going to do it right. Or what? I'm going to mow the yard. On Thursday, I'm going to mow the yard. I'm going to blow the leaves. And you make a commitment of how you're going to do it. My wife was going to run a 5K, and we're 70 years old. And she decided she's going to run a 5K. And I don't mean she's going to be compliant. She's committed to running a 5K. Committed. So she finds an app on her phone, and it's called From Couch to 5K. And what you do is you run a minute. You jog for 1 minute. Then you walk for a minute. Then you jog another minute. And the next week, you jog 2 minutes. And finally, she gets up to a point that she's jogging for 35 minutes. And then 45 minutes. And you look back, and that was 12 weeks ago. She was jogging 1 minute. She began with nothing, but she was committed to it. So what'd she do? She stuck with it. Was there fog? Oh, yeah. How about the weather? Well, it's raining. I'm not going to work out today. No, I'm going to find me a treadmill inside and do it. You find a way to do it. It's too cold. No, you find a treadmill inside and do it. Or you wrap up and put enough clothes on so in case the 5K you run is on a cold day. See, that's commitment. And it's the simplest form of commitment. 70-year-old woman running a 5K, simple as it can be. I'm going to run the 5K in under X amount of time. And she is, because she's committed to it. She didn't have an interest in doing it. She wasn't compliant. She didn't go out the first day and try to run a 5K. She found an app on her phone called Couch to 5K. And she found several different apps on her phone. But that's the one that she stuck with. And she's going to get there. Commitment. Inspecting. You got to expect great things. She expected to run a 5K. Her inspection, she's going to do it. What was her fog? Well, I'll tell you, one of the fogs was when she told her daughter and her best friend that she was going to run a 5K. They laughed at her. You mean you're going to walk? No, I'm going to jog a 5K. And they laughed. Well, that could have been really deteriorating to some people. But it motivated her. You're going to see. I want you there the day I do it. And then every time she works. That's commitment. It's like setting a goal, and you set a goal every day. You may not be wanting to run a 5K, but that's just an example. I want to lose 22 pounds. Okay, if you want to lose 22 pounds, let's sit down and write out a plan for it. Let's research and find out what a good plan is and figure out how to do it a little bit at a time. You don't want to lose 22 pounds in a week, because it comes right back if you do. You want to lose it a little bit at a time and keep a record and a diet of it so that when you got it off, it'll stay off. That's commitment. Make a commitment. Write your goals every day. Be the best you that you can be. And it starts today by making this a great day.